Hey guys, yeah, sorry, I have been gone for quite a while, mostly because I've been dealing with some very personal stuff, and it was very hard for me, so I decided to take some time for myself. But anyway, I'm back, and I'm here, and hopefully I can keep this channel alive. Now, where was I? Oh yeah, Smallville season two. So Smallville season two takes place right after the where season one left off. Season one kind of ended on a cliffhanger, and now it's moving straight into season two. And season two has got to be my favorite season out of the high school years of Smallville for more than one reason, and mostly it's because it's a main step up from what season one used to be. Season one was kind of like they're finding their stomping grounds. They're trying to figure out what the show is going to be. Season two is kind of the continuation, the growing up of Superman, and I absolutely enjoyed it. And first I gotta say is that Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum, they absolutely killed their performances. I don't know if they were born to really play these roles, but I absolutely enjoy both of them on screen. Whenever it's just them on screen, I am having a blast. Or whenever it's just Michael Rosenbaum doing his thing, or Tom Welling playing Clark Kent, I absolutely enjoy it. And their friendship, I just gotta continue talking about their friendship because it's one of my favorite things of this show. You just want to see this friendship grow. You want to see it get bigger and all such. I mean, Clark's family, they do not like Lex Luthor, mostly because he's a Luthor, and the Luthor name in Smallville, it's just something you don't want to have on your tombstone. But anyway, I enjoy their friendship. I just wanted to see it expand and everything, but all I know is that one day this is going to break off, it's going to be tragic, and they're going to be mortal enemies. And I just want to, and I just have to see it all the way through. That's just what I have to do. But also, this season really brings up the relationship between Clark Kent and Lana Lang. Lana Lang is now single. I mean, I like Lana Lang for for the most part. I mean, she's that good girl, small town girl that is really fun for Clark and the gang to hang out with. Of course, she doesn't exactly become that character later on down the road in later seasons. I'll get to that in a minute, but she does good for what she is given. Kristen Crook is a very great actress. I'll give her that. What she is given, she gives it 110%. And also the fact that Kristen Crook is insanely attractive. I'm gonna admit it right now. She is really attractive. But then again, a lot of CW shows, there is no such thing as an unattractive girl. Seriously. But also, I gotta point this out. Even after 20 years, Kristen Crook has not aged a day. You just take one look at her now and you think, what type of collagen are you taking? Because I want it. I mean, how? You have not aged at all. So good for her and everything. And I did like the build up of the relationship between Clark Kent and Lana Lang, even though it does kind of stretch out a little bit too much. I mean, they're growing very close to each other, but there's a block, and that is Clark's secret. I mean, Clark's secret, he's Superman. He's the Man of Steel. So that's being held right in between that relationship, and it's kind of extending it out a little bit too long. And I understand why Clark Kent has to keep it a secret, but then there were many times in the show, especially in season 3 down the road, where I was thinking, dude, will you just be a man and tell her? I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? But then there are a lot of moments in this season and season 3 where I was thinking, Lana, how have you not figured it out? I mean, in the very beginning of season 2, she's in a truck and it gets sucked up into a tornado and everything. Clark goes after her. He flies up, pulls the door off the truck. She sees him right there. He goes in, pulls her out, and takes her straight to the hospital. And then finally, later on down the episode, she says, "Oh, I must have hit my head," and because I swore I saw Clark right there. I guess I must have been delirious. And I'm thinking, lady, you have a couple of bruises on you. Whereas your vehicle, it's out in the middle of the field. It's a pile of gasoline, oil, metal, glass, rubber, everything that used to be a car. And you're telling me you got out of that with just a couple of bruises? There is no way. There is no way at all. There are many moments like that in this season, and they did kind of get frustrating for the most part. But then again, these seasons have like what 20, 23 episodes, so they can go on for quite a while. So there will be those episodes that just kind of waste our time, which I did explain in season 1. And another thing that they start showing is the red kryptonite. We all know what green kryptonite is. It's the kryptonite that can kill Superman. But not a lot of movies really talk about the other colors of kryptonite. And there are many colors in the origins of Superman, whereas red kryptonite gives Clark Kent an opposite effect. I mean, Clark's a very nice guy. He likes helping out people. He likes to be the good guy in a room. But when he's wearing red kryptonite, he becomes an absolute bad boy. There's even a scene in particular where he's wearing sunglasses, a leather jacket, and he's riding on a motorcycle. And I'm thinking, dude, what version of Terminator am I looking at right now? But anyway, I really enjoyed that they delve into that type of stuff, because that really builds on the origin of Superman that we have never really seen on the big screen. But also, another thing that happens to him is that he starts developing heat vision. They're in class one day, and then there is this teacher who is wearing a very inappropriate outfit, but then again, they're guys in high school. They're not going to care. But anyway, he looks at her, and of course, he's starting to think about certain things, and suddenly little sparks of heat shoot out of his eyes, and they make certain fires and all such. So he's starting to develop his heat vision, and I'm thinking, oh, so that's how he gets his heat vision. He thinks about sex. So in the comic books and in the movies, when he is going gung-ho blazing with those lasers out of his eyes, what is he thinking about then? Is he thinking about him, Lois Lane, Lana Lang, having a three-way with Wonder Woman, like sitting in the corner or something? Hey, you put the ideas in my head. This is what you put in there. Don't blame me for coming up with this type of stuff. But also, I did like seeing that he's getting more powers as he's growing up. He's starting to become the man that he is going to be. So that was a whole lot of fun to watch. And then there are two characters. Well, actually, there's three characters that I enjoyed seeing in season 2. And the first one is Lionel Luthor. Holy shit. Lionel Luthor in the first season didn't really do much. He's more of the bad dad to Lex Luthor. He doesn't raise Lex Luthor to be his son or anything. He's more or less raising him to be the heir to his empire, his billion-dollar business empire. That's all he really has to do. So he doesn't really do much. He's more of a dick in the first season. But in season 2, Lionel Luthor shines a whole lot more. Lionel Luthor's got to be the reason why I watched the first seasons of Smallville. I absolutely enjoy the dude. Because in the very first season, I'm thinking, you are a dick, but you have my attention. So I'll give it that. Season 2, he gets a whole lot bigger. Like, for example, in one episode, these crooks are trying to break into these thieves are trying to break into his vault, and when the vault opens up, there's no money inside, there's no gold inside. Instead, there are kryptonite bars sitting on a table, as well as a file of Clark Kent. And I'm thinking, now, dude, you have my attention. I want to see where your character is going now. So, Lionel Luthor, massive step up from season 1, and I give full credit to that. Another character that I absolutely enjoyed seeing, for the most part, I enjoyed him at first, and then I kind of lost track of it, was Jor-El. Jor-El is now being played by Terrence Stamp. Terrence Stamp played Zod in the original Superman movies, so that's a good cameo, and that's something that I found really cool, until he started talking. I mean, when I expected Jor-El to show up in the show for the first time, I kind of expected like a Marlon Brando type of character, just showing up and saying, "My son, you do not remember me. I am Jor-El. I am your father." And then he talks about his Kryptonian heritage and what superpowers he has and all such. But you never really get that the first time you're introduced to Jor-El. Jor-El in the TV show basically says, "My son, it is now time for you to leave. It's now time for you to follow your destiny. All the people that you knew in life, all the people that you fell in love with, forget about them. They do not exist anymore. They served their purpose. It's now time for you to follow your destiny, and you have no choice. You need to follow your destiny. And your destiny is something I'm not going to tell you right now because we're in a TV show, I guess. And if you do not listen to me, I'm going to brand a symbol into your chest." They just turned Jor-El into kind of a dick in the second season. So What the heck? But also another character that absolutely shocked me, and that was Dr. Swan. Dr. Swan is the first character that teaches Clark Kent about his lineage, where he came from, because he studied the Kryptonian language, the message he got from that planet, and now he can understand it and all such. He's the first guy to tell Clark Kent that he came from another planet called Krypton. So that was cool. But the coolest thing is when you finally see Dr. Swan, it's Christopher Reeve. Yeah, he's sitting in a chair, of course. This took place after his accident and everything, but just seeing Christopher Reeve on camera with Superman once again, it just felt like a passing of the torch kind of moment, and it got me really excited. Except problem is he's not in the show for that long, and that just really hurts me. I mean, we only got a couple years with Christopher Reeve left. Give him more time. I mean, come on. But it was more or less a passing of the torch kind of moment from the original Superman to the new Superman, and I did enjoy that. And another thing that I really enjoyed about the show before I close this up is that there are a lot of episodes that are now really dark. I mean, the first season you just kind of deal with episodic type of stuff. Now we're kind of dealing with more of a storyboard kind of thing, and when you have a show that runs as long as this one did, there will be episodes that are insanely happy, and then there are some that are insanely tragic. Case in point, the Ryan episode. If you guys get to the episode Ryan, just be prepared. It's very tragic. But I do love the fact that they did introduce that there will be dark episodes down the road. Kind of teaches us that Superman just cannot save everybody. It's one of the hardest things about being Superman, and I did enjoy the fact that they put that in there. And there are a couple of other dark stuff in this season, and it just builds up a little bit more on what's going to be seen later on in the show. So I gotta say, season 2 way better than season 1. I'm not saying season 1 is bad. Season 1 is more or less the startup, and I enjoyed the startup of Smallville. But season 2, in my mind, is the next step up, the next phase in the whole Superman story arc. So I gotta say, I will definitely watch season 2 again. So guys, season 2 of Smallville, have you seen it? What did you think of it? Whatever you thought, comment below, and I'll see you in the next video.